Hi everyone, welcome to today's session on the issue that matters most, spelling. This is Rupert Jordan from English for Millennials, a conversational English for non-native speakers. Please hit like, leave your comments, share this video with your families and friends, and if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell icon for the latest updates. Does spelling matter or doesn't it matter? Actually, many of us non-native speakers find English spelling very difficult and bizarre. Why? First and foremost, we need to consider that English is not of single origin. Yes, it is. It has different sources and it developed over the course of more than 1,400 years. Very long time. We have Germanic origin or Anglo-Saxon base with around 26% of English words. Can you still recall the different tribes, the Angles, Saxons, Jutes, and Frisian, using different dialects and entered England around 449 AD? Old English was born and flourished during that time. Some of the common words during that time was the word for father, mother, and brother. I don't know exactly the pronunciation because we don't have contact with the old English people anymore. Then we have French borrowings with around 29% of English words. Remember the Norman conquest of England around 1066 AD, and it left the country a trilingual place of social interaction. There was English for common folks, Latin was used by the church and for record keeping, and of course the aristocrats used French. The development of English during this era is called Middle English. Now, some of the words I mentioned a while ago for father, mother, and brother, their spellings were changed, modified during the Middle English. Again, I don't know exactly their pronunciation because we don't have contact with them. Then Latin borrowings with approximately 29% of English words. Can you still recall the Roman Empire that had influenced the Germanic tribes before they set foot in Great Britain? So most probably Latin influences were reflected in their oral and written expressions. One of the major contributions of Latin in the development of English is the use of scientific names or binomens. Pronunciation of binomens are also anglicized now. However, it is still phonetically and syntaxically fluent to retain the original pronunciation in Latin. For example, bitter gourd or bitter gourd. Its scientific name is Momordica carantia, but its Latin pronunciation is Momordica carantia. Latin pronunciation is close to modern Italian language. Greek borrowings with over 150,000 words or about 6% of English words. Greek was considered a language of learning. Thus, a lot of English words are of Greek origin. Here are some of them: hermaphrodite, galaxy, Europe or Europe, dinosaur or dinosaur, democracy or democracy, cynicism, symmetry or symmetry, acrobat, and a lot more. And loan words from other countries, around 10% are included in the modern English. For example, the Philippines. There are more than 100 of Filipino words in the Oxford English Dictionary. Though retain most of their original spelling, but their pronunciation are anglicized already. For example, the word kuya for elder brother is now pronounced as kuya. It has long and short vowel and it is aspirated. English language incorporates those languages and is not a closed system. It continues to evolve, create, adapt, and modify words. Furthermore, spelling sometimes change over time when enough people using different spelling for a sufficiently long time for the change to be considered as permanent or and not an aberration. Besides, American and British English are also a factor. There are differences in spelling and pronunciation as well of more than 100 words. This is what makes English spelling of modern day a bit hard and complicated. Now, if spelling is very hard, how can you improve spelling? More than anything else, you must always be optimistic. Always remember these quotes. Think positive. If other can, why can't I? Always consider spelling as important as grammar, vocabulary, and phonology. If you want to improve communication and achieve a degree of fluency in English, you need to focus not only on spelling, but on correct grammar, vocabulary, and phonology as well, but with practice. It is very important for English learners to see the relationship between spelling, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation because they are closely connected to each other. Moreover, good spelling is important because it facilitates communication and aids reading and comprehension. If you follow the same rules for spelling words, you can easily understand the text you read. If you write with intent and proper spelling, the receiver or reader of that text will understand it easily. Believe in me. Grammar. Grammar is important because it is language that makes it possible for us to talk about language. We always associate grammar with correctness and errors. When you observe correct grammar, people would say, you are grammatically correct. But if you commit mistakes, they would say, you are grammatically wrong. Knowing about grammar also helps us understand what makes sentences and paragraphs clear, interesting, and precise. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is critical to reading success for three reasons. 1. Since comprehension is the ultimate goal of reading, so you cannot overestimate the importance of vocabulary development among children and adolescents. When they improve their vocabulary, their academic aspects, social confidence, and competence also improve. Number 2, words are considered as the currency or power of communication because you assign their value. For example, on YouTube, there are words not suited for children, right? but appropriate for adults or adults. There are good words, there are bad words, and a lot of criteria used to quantify the value of words. And number three, a robust vocabulary improves all areas of communication. I'm referring to the macro skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Phonology Phonology is important because it allows you to examine the differences between the sounds of source and target languages and explains these differences to learners. It also enables you learners to better understand and speak the language you are learning. Thus, phonology is very important and is given emphasis in my previous vlogs. Now you realize that perfect spelling, right grammar, good vocabulary, correct pronunciation, and proper articulation of sounds will ensure your great success in learning. In learning English. Also, when you need to talk to others or when you want to express yourself, you need to pronounce words in the articulate way and think of better words to use and write them correctly. Thus, it is very important for you to get familiar with the spelling patterns. And by the way, what are spelling patterns? These configurations are called spelling patterns when there are a number of words with the same sound that are spelled a particular way. But there is no logical reason why that sound is spelled that way. One reason probably is the one I have said a while ago: the different sources of English language. Furthermore, unlike many languages, particularly Italian, Spanish, and even Filipino, the way words are written in these languages corresponds exactly to the way they sound because they are phonetic languages. However, English is different. It is non-phonetic language, which means that the pronunciation of a word is not dependent on its spelling. And a single sound may take a dozen or more forms when written down. For example, leek or leak can be spelled as L-E-A-K or L-E-E-K, so using two patterns. Or P-E-L or P-L can be spelled as P-A-L or P-E-E-L. Same with real. Real can be R-A-L or R-E-E-L. I will give you a particular example using a conversation. Since our blogs are meant for conversation, it is transcribed in the International Phonetic Alphabet IPA symbols because I want you to see the sounds of words and think of the appropriate patterns required for a particular sound. Just guess the letters for the sound by looking at the IPA symbols and listening to the sounds I will produce, and you'll have an idea on the correct pattern. Are you ready? Here is the conversation between Jean and Debbie. Always remember, entries in red observe American English. Entries in green observe British English. And in blue, it means common for both. Why do you always meet meets? Or why do you always meet meets? I always meet meats to order some fresh meat from the farm. Or I always meet meats to order some fresh meat from the farm. If you notice, there are two words with the same sound, meat and meat. I suggest two patterns here, EE and EA patterns. If you use EE, it's appropriate for the first one because the first meat functions as verb and the second one functions as noun. So if you use pattern EA, MEAT, meat, it means a type of meat or the flesh of an animal used for food. And the other one, it means to come together with someone intentionally or to talk and see someone for the first time. Now here is the transcription using the normal symbols. Jean, why do you always meet meats? Debbie, I always meet meats to order some fresh meat from the farm. What if we change the spelling of the first meat and the second one? For the first one, we will use MEAT, and for the second one, we will use MEET. Do sentences make sense? What do you think? Well, I don't want to give you much headache, so forget about it. Instead, I will give you more exercises for practice. No worries, these are very easy. Just underline the correct spelling. This is the conversation between Dean and Winnie. Do you peel the skin of pineapple before serving? Yes, I do. I make sure it is always clean. Have you been to the Sea of Galilee? Yes, I have been many times. One time with Lynn. What do you usually do there? We usually walk along the seashore, but last time we had picnic. We ate some baked beans. Oh, I see. Have you been there? I will be there again next week. Oh, it's a good idea. We will go too. Always remember, spelling is not an easy task or skill, but it is as important as grammar, vocabulary, and phonology. Difficulty on spelling of English words are due to different origins: Germanic, French, Latin, Greek, and other borrowings from other countries, and differences in regional English, particularly between American and British English. We can improve spelling by being optimistic at all times and getting familiar with different spelling patterns of particular sounds. And that I'm going to share with you in my next vlog. Here ends up my presentation for today. Once again, this is Rupert Jordan, inviting everyone to stay tuned to this channel if you want to learn more about spelling and spelling patterns. Please hit like, leave your comments, share this video with your families and friends, and if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell icon for the latest updates. May God bless you.